If by now you haven't seen one of James O'Keefe's greatest videos, you're missing out. In the video, James O'Keefe is talking to a White House employee who spills the beans. Michelle Obama does not want to run. They have discussed getting rid of Kamala Harris, and they know Joe Biden's brain is broken. The best part about this video from James O'Keefe is that he went himself to this meeting and he just wore a pair of glasses. People are posting memes of like Superman, Clark Kent taking off his glasses and Lois Lane being like, it was you the whole time. Oh, man. And part of me feels bad that this guy is like going on a date with James O'Keefe. I don't know. James met this guy on Grindr or something, or what did he do? And this guy has no idea what's going on. I feel bad, but I don't feel bad enough. And I'll tell you why. All right. This guy who got caught up in this undercover sting operation knows Kamala Harris is not fit for the presidency. Joe Biden is not fit for the presidency. There are very serious problems with the administration right now, and Joe Biden's brain is not working. But they don't speak up and tell the American people just how bad it is. But in private, over wine, on a date with a guy he thinks is also a Democrat, of course we know this. The fact that they've discussed removing Kamala Harris is a massive scoop. We have this story. This is from last month. And I think in this context, I'd like to start here before getting into where we're currently at and what we can expect this year. CNN Politics. CNN inaugural road to 270 shows Trump in a position to win the White House. In a position. Let me simplify it for you, ladies and gentlemen. CNN Politics has constructed their 272 win map, basically looking at all the different states and who they will end up voting for and what that will mean. According to CNN, right now, Donald Trump is expected to win 272 electoral college votes. This is based off of polls. And this even has Georgia being kind of going to the Republicans. Arizona apparently is going third party. Wisconsin and PA, is that they're what they're saying? It may be that they're saying these are toss-ups. Let me see, make sure I get the color code right. I don't know. It looks like they're saying, well, I don't know. This is, I don't know what their yellow is trying to imply, but it doesn't matter. While they may be toss-ups, I think that's what they're saying is that they're toss-ups. The fact is, with these states, Trump wins. Nevada, Georgia, Ohio, even with Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Arizona being unsure, Trump wins. Now, why would CNN be saying this of all outlets? I don't know. Here's what they report. The first look at President Biden versus Trump rematch and the Electoral College, the math, captures a dynamic to play 10 months, blah, blah, blah. Trump is a serious flawed candidate, blah, 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 blah. Okay. We should be very clear about what this electoral lookout is, and more importantly, what it is not. It is the first snapshot of the Electoral College landscape in what will likely prove to be another very close and extraordinarily consequential presidential election. It is not a prediction of how things will turn out in November. It's not even a prediction of what things may look like. And I think it's important to point out. What they're doing basically is, here are the current polls. This is it. As of right now, if the election were held today, Donald Trump won. Interesting. Well, my friends, you may have seen the story. Let's break down the massive expose, and from this, where I think we may go. You know, I was torn. We got breaking news that Joe Biden has authorized strikes on Iranian targets. I don't know what else to say. I mean, we've talked about the prospect of World War III quite a bit. And so here we are. Joe Biden, in his sad, pathetic, and the Democrats' evil desperation, will likely start a major war under the belief wartime presidents win, or maybe because they know it's their only opportunity to do so, and it will cause serious problems for Donald Trump in his next term. From SCNR.com, White House reportedly wants to replace Harris, Biden in decline. They report, this is from Chris Bertman, a White House cyber official said the White House wants to replace Vice President Kamala Harris, and President Joe Biden was in mental decline, according to a new O'Keefe Media Group video. The video features a disguised O'Keefe chatting in a coffee shop with White House cyber official Charlie Krager, who confirmed he was fairly high up in ranking and fairly good at keeping secrets. Oof. The video's hilarious. Krager said he managed security for two federal agencies, the State Department and the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. During their conversation, The disguised O'Keefe asked if Biden would be the Democratic presidential nominee this November, to which Krager appeared to confirm he would be. And Kamala Harris will be the vice president nominee. There was a debate about removing her from the ticket, but sadly they didn't. Sadly, they didn't. This is a high-ranking White House staffer saying he wanted Kamala Harris gone. That's crazy. How are they supposed to win? Krager said Harris couldn't keep black staff because they quit on her en masse. O'Keefe transitioned to Biden saying the president had dementia, to which Krager said he was aware. However, I want to clarify, he said he's not been clinically diagnosed, but he is slowing down. He's definitely slowing down, Krager said of Biden. O'Keefe asked if others in the Biden administration were aware of the president's mental decline. Krager said he believed the administration was aware, adding Biden's polling shows it. The OMG founder suggested the administration was unwilling to address their issues with Biden publicly, to which the White House cyber official agreed. Correct. And the same thing with Kamala Harris. She is not popular. But you can't remove the first black lady to be vice president from the GD presidential ticket. Like, what kind of message are you going to send to, like, African-American voters? How would you spin that? It is wild. This is where we're at. These staffers know that this country is in trouble. They know the American people do not want them. And I'll tell you why I have no sympathy for this guy. Because his mentality is, we better keep this stuff from the public so they don't vote against Joe Biden. If this guy actually cared about the country, he'd come out right away and say, I can't do this. I quit. Guys, you're sitting here debating that this woman can't be president. She's unpopular. This guy's brain isn't working properly. The best thing for this country is not that these people remain in office. Who would ever argue for incompetent people to run a company? Only people who want that company destroyed. Want to extract as much as they can from it as it all burns down. Sad. Wow. People would be like, what the F? Like, she's a woman and she's multiracial. Krager said he believed the administration was equally concerned about Harris's perception along with Biden. Can't say it publicly, got to toe the line. Krager added, though admitted concerns over Biden and Harris were privately discussed, I'm just telling you what I've heard. SCNR.com, get a copy editor. It's TOE, the line, not TOW. To toe the line means to put your foot at the line of the starting point. Jeez, Chris Bertman. Who's this guy, huh? The White House cyber official said he had a meeting with former First Lady Michelle Obama while he was an intern. When someone asked her about a potential White House run, the former First Lady reported emphatically, no. I've seen all the ish my husband had to go through, and that does not interest me. Krager and O'Keefe also discussed the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent push to mandate vaccination against the virus, to which the White House cyber official said, F you to those averse seeking vaccination. You're not going to get the vaccine, and then you're going to expose my family in the hospital? You're unvaccinated? Like, F you. That one's really funny. The conversation took a dramatic turn as the OMG founder reiterated Krager was a White House cyber official before pulling his disguised glasses off and asking what Krager was doing on a meeting with James O'Keefe. Oh, man. The best video James ever done in terms of pure entertainment value. What type of cybersecurity operation are you guys running over here? O'Keefe said, noting he was the founder of Project Veritas. And the guy goes, oh, yeah, I've heard of that. How do you think it looks to the American people that working in the office of cybersecurity are sitting across the table with James O'Keefe? Oh, man. James O'Keefe says, double dare. What are the odds someone who works in the current White House recognizes me on a date if I just spray paint my hair and wear big glasses? And they said, you'd get the story, James. O'Keefe will release the second half of his interaction with Krager tomorrow. As of Wednesday afternoon, Krager's X account has been set to private. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a massive scoop. It's huge. What we know publicly and what we believe publicly is also happening inside the Biden administration. They know Biden can't do it. They know Kamala Harris is unpopular, and they are stuck. Now, hold on there a minute. What if this guy knew it was James O'Keefe the whole time, and this is a reverse sting operation? I don't know, man. The idea being, come on, this guy really didn't know it was James O'Keefe and he works in security? It's possible, I guess, Occam's razor. But what if They just want to tell James what he wants to hear so that James reports it and we all believe it. What if behind the scenes they're saying everything they think about Kamala and Joe, we want them to think. Why? We want to lull them into a false sense of security so that we can win. CNN reporting that Trump is on track to win the White House. Why? During the Iowa caucus and in New Hampshire, they called the race for Trump early. This one really screwed us over, to be completely honest. We had scheduled Vivek Ramaswamy to come on the show. He was running. And within like within like 20 minutes, they called the Iowa caucus for Donald Trump before any data actually come in, like 1%. And we're like, huh. And this likely resulted in Vivek being like, okay, I see the writing on the wall. Many people, DeSantis supporters, were claiming it was a trick to screw over Ron DeSantis' voters because many people got notifications on their phone that Trump had won before they even voted. That's not a trick to help Donald Trump. That's a trick to hurt Donald Trump. Because how many people showed up for Trump thinking he's going to win, but I'll show up anyway. I'm here to vote for Trump. Then they go, oh, he won. All right, we're good. The DeSantis people were fighting uphill. They weren't going to leave for anything. The Trump people were the ones who were like, we know he's going to win anyway, right? That's the con game. Be wary. CNN comes out and says, Donald Trump's going to win. Oh, geez. Oh, me. Oh, my. You get this leaked report. This guy who works in the White House is like, Biden's brain doesn't work and Kamala's unpopular. Now, no heat to James O'Keefe. This is one of his best videos, but I'm just saying, be careful. Because maybe the reality is this guy did know who he was and he wants us all to think they have no confidence in Joe Biden. Maybe. But I look at what happened in 2020 and I got to think like, they got a plan. They ain't sitting by doing nothing. Kurt Schlichter writes, the black swan events that could determine this election. So what could happen from today? I would say this, as we get into this topic, do not be lulled into a false sense of security. You must register your friends and family to vote. You must scream to the high heavens, register to vote. Figure out what you can do to get your neighbors registered to vote. They're going to be sending out mail-in ballots and all of that stuff. You better be ready for this one. Town Hall, Kurt Schlichter writes, some of us older folks grew up in a time of normality when chaos was not the rule and weird life-changing things didn't happen. These stakes were not that high when we were growing up, except for the whole imminent nuclear war thing. But now we are regularly beset by flocks of black swan events. He says, and they now happen all the time. 9/11, the Wall Street meltdown, Trump's election, COVID, Ben Shapiro getting a #1 rap hit. The black swans are coming fast and furious, and there's no sign of them stopping. If you want to support Tom McDonald and Ben Shapiro, go to factswithben.com. Buy the song. But I digress. One more thing can happen, likely will happen this year, that could change everything. Trump convicted, acquitted, or nothing at all. Perhaps. Are there any terrorist attack? The border has been and is going to remain wide open. The Republican Squish Caucus border compromise, which was to give Democrats millions of more immigrants in return for destroying the Republican Party, seems to be going nowhere, thank goodness. The deal that they've set forward is that 5,000 criminal aliens can enter the country every day, and that's a deal. How much would I bet Republicans go, we did it, everybody? The videos will not stop. More and more people will see what's going on. He says, I wrote about this in my novel, The Attack, where thousands of military-age males infiltrate the country and trigger a devastating terror assault on Americans using very simple means to maximize casualties and demoralize the country. It could happen. Even some ex-FBI officials, the most incompetent people in the universe, have predicted this possibility and are warning of it. If we get by a massive terror attack that kills tens of thousands of Americans, and you need to know this could absolutely happen because I spelled out for you in my novel, it will doom Joe Biden and the Democrats. Put aside the duty to defend Americans from being murdered, which Democrats care nothing about. Setting yourself up for that kind of fall is simply political malpractice. But no one ever accused Joe Biden of being smart. You've got economic meltdown, perhaps. You've got pandemic 2 lockdown boogaloo. That one I don't think. We did think there was a possibility, 6 or so months ago, but I think we're way too removed from this now. It's out of sight, out of mind, but possibly. You never know. You never know what could change. Civil war. Oh, boy. I love this one. I called this too in my People's Republic novels. The border situation is coming to a head with a potential confrontation between Governor Abbott of Texas and 24 other governors and our alleged president. The fact is, the Constitution requires Joe Biden to both enforce the laws and protect the states from invasion, but he is willfully doing neither. It's worse than that. He's involved in the invasion. That makes for a constitutional crisis, one completely of Joe Biden's doing. Although the regime media is screaming that it's all Texas's fault for not meekly submitting to federal abuse and neglect. I don't think we're going to have another Gettysburg, but Joe Biden is a stupid, malignant man, and his administration is full of stupid, malignant people. It is entirely possible that they push this and provoke some sort of conflict. Then it gets scary. I think the great Fred Thompson said it best in The Hunt for Red October. This business will get out of control. It will get out of control, and we'll be lucky to live through it. Some other war, perhaps. Impeachment, Hunter, and other scandals. Biden falls out. And then there is the reality that Joe Biden is about 142 years old and he could drop dead of natural causes at any time. Or his dementia could get to such a place that he can't even fake being president any longer. Or he might get tired of it and drop it under pressure. There are rumors that Barack Obama wants him out, and Biden's wife, who is a totally legitimate doctor, and you should respect her, okay, blah, 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 is never going to give up first ladyhood voluntarily. But the Democrats might not take no for an answer. The question then becomes, who's next? Do they somehow slip Michelle Obama ahead of Kamala Harris? I don't think so. Unless that guy knew it was James O'Keefe and was lying, I think what he's saying is legit. Michelle Obama will not run. She does not want to run. Everybody knew this. And Kamala Harris is not popular enough to win. He then says Trump falls out. The scary reality. Trump is pretty old, too. Ignore the unflattering photos and overblown slips of the tongue. He's in remarkable health and shows amazing vigor for someone his age. But he is his age. There's a possibility that he could fall out because of health concerns, a stroke, heart attack, who knows? I don't think it'll happen, but it might. And there's something more sinister. You've seen the hatred the elite has against the ex-president, how they've called him a threat to our democracy, a fascist. Yeah, someone could attempt an attack on Donald Trump. I don't know for sure, but these are interesting subjects brought up by Kurt Schlichter, and I think most of us have considered the possibility of all of these. It is going to be a wild year. Now, this news is breaking. U.S. approves strikes against Iranian targets in Iraq and Syria. That's it. That's the news. Could this be World War III? Well, I don't know. They are not outright saying that they're going to strike Iranian naval vessels, but these are Iranian targets, so we will see. USnews.com reporting from CBS. This could spark off World War III. It could give Joe Biden and Democrats everything they need to sow chaos. But I'm not entirely sure. It could be everything they need so that this country is thrown into disarray, that Joe Biden's poll rating, approval rating goes up. I don't know if I believe that would happen, but at the very least, it will dramatically change what we can expect in this election. So that 270 to win map CNN published, relatively meaningless, especially with changing demographics. We don't know exactly how this thing is going to play out. I can only tell you, my friends, that it is going to be a wild year. It's true. Ben Shapiro is the #1 rapper in the world. It's amazing what's going on behind the scenes. And what this shows you, the narrative machine is collapsing. The digital news outlets have been laying off their staff like crazy. The LA Times laid off their DC staff in an election year. That is unheard of. And I can only say bankruptcy must be in their future if they're getting rid of their DC reporters in an election year. So what does that mean for the rest of us? It means I think we're winning. You take a look at what James O'Keefe was able to pull off. You take a look at the polling data. Donald Trump is poised to win. I don't see us losing this one. There is an interesting idea that was floated by a member of Timcast.com. Go to Timcast.com, click join us, become a member. In our Discord server, called into our Uncensored show and asked, what if Biden pardons criminal aliens? Now, that one's interesting. You know, many people have speculated, we speculated in IRL, that Joe Biden will bring all these illegal immigrants in, these criminal aliens, and then sign some executive order giving them a path to citizenship. Thus, a rapid shift that Trump would not be able to easily overturn. But many people point out he can't do that. It's unconstitutional. It's illegal. My response to that, simply put, is like, yeah, he's doing a lot of illegal things right now. But a better thought. What if he pardons them? These individuals broke the law by entering the country. It is a violation of U.S. law. What if Joe Biden just issues a blanket pardon to anyone who illegally crossed the border? That's one way he could do it. He could say, these people are refugees and asylum seekers, so I hereby pardon every single one of them. And he can. That would be interesting. I don't know what will happen, my friends. I don't know how war will take shape, but it seems to be. I don't know what the polls will suggest, but everything looks like it's coming up Trump. Joe Biden's failing. They're trying to prop up the economy and the media. Like, oh, it's Bidenomics is great. Stephen Colbert shilling for Joe Biden, saying inflation that the economy grew 3.3%, and in academic terms that means number go up equals good. The funny thing about that clip, that's literally what he has to say, so that stupid people who follow his show understand what he's trying to say. Because if you came out and said the good news is the economy was reportedly at 3.3% growth, which is fantastic, people are going to be like, what does that mean? So he has to say number go up equals good, as if he's talking to who? Yeah, his own audience. These are the people that are voting for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and other Democrats. It's going to be a wild year, my friends, and we can't predict what's going to happen. If you think you've seen it, you've not seen it all. And I guarantee Democrats have an ace up their sleeves or some kind of plan. So stay tuned. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.